Go ahead.
Oh,
yes.
Go.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
I thought. Okay, cool. Guys, welcome to another episode of Super Cool Nerd Show live.
Whoop, whoop.
Here today. Today is Thursday, of course, because that's when we always go live. I am Ricardo. I am back. I've been gone for a couple weeks. Job has been really busy, but I am back now. And so yeah. And here to my left, we've got Bryce.
Hey, Ricardo. It's the day after Wednesday.
It is the day after
that means
Wednesday.
We're all together.
We're all together
Once again.
It's been a hot minute, so I'm excited though. And then over to his left, we've got Kat.
Hi.
So we're wearing an awesome Optimus Prime shirt today. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Is Bastion,
clearly Mega Man.
Like
Mega Man.
Lego,
Stop angering me.
And then, of course, to her left is we've got Miss Cass.
What's up?
She's wearing an awesome Wonder Woman t-shirt today, because of course. And then today behind the board, we have Jason the X.
Back over here doing my thing. Hey, everybody.
And in the audience, we have Cora.
The audience.
Hey.
The audience.
She's always like,
Keeping
get over
Jason
here,
in
get over here.
line.
Also a person
Okay,
here.
listen here.
You did your makeup,
Bucko.
Cora.
You can't tell me what to do. You can't even see me, can you?
Cora, you did your makeup. Might as well be on.
Nope. See.
Okay.
Well,
Oh, wait,
Oh.
wait, and wait for it, wait
Get
for
off
it.
me! Get off me!
Yeah, there you go.
Get off me!
no, you're
now.
pretty comfy, actually.
Get off!
All right, awesome, guys. So we have a great show for you today. But before we go more into that, let's go into some super cool nerd news. Awesome. So we're gonna start with me. Stranger Things 3. We've got new cast members. Carrie Oles. If you remember him from Princess Bride, and also the series Saw, and also Jake Busey from Super Troopers have both joined the cast. Carrie Oles will play a character named Major Klein, while Busey from Starship Troopers will play a character named Bruce. Major Klein is being described by Netflix promotional materials as handsome, slick, and sleazy. Your classic 80s politician, more concerned with his own image than with the people of the small town he governs. And then Bruce, the Bruce character played by Busey, is a journalist for the Hawkins Post with questionable morals and a sick sense of humor. So looks like we can have new characters on there, but not any better than the Demogorgon. So we're gonna just have more twisted evil people. So I'm excited for this. Season 1 and 2 on Netflix right now. Awesome seasons. If you have not caught those, go out and watch those ASAP.
Will this be the one that like ends the series, just like the bad one?
They said that. Ooh.
You gotta wait till series 7 for that?
I don't know. The kids they got to grow up at some
kills
point.
The show.
They did have to grow up.
It's not going to work anymore. We can't just keep jumping them up in ages.
They did say they're going to do at least 4 seasons.
Wow. Okay.
So we got one more to go, at least. So
6 seasons in a movie.
6 seasons in a movie.
6 seasons in a movie. So there we go. Bryce, what do you got?
Bruce.
Bruce Price.
Bryce, what do you got?
They call me Bruce. Did you ever see that film?
No.
Which?
That's a Bruce Campbell movie, right?
Is it Bryce Almighty?
Bryce Almighty.
Yes.
Bryce Almighty.
Yeah. Well,
That's the Bruce Campbell movie, right?
That's me on the weekend.
That's the only weekend.
On a date.
Heard that.
Yeah.
When you can actually schedule the days.
Right. Thank you for that, Kat. And now back to the news. Okay. A mere 8 or 9 years from now in Los Angeles, in 2028, Hotel Artemis is going to let us see what the criminals do for medical help. It's a new film. You can see the trailer now. And it looks like a really interesting movie. It's a secret hotel, not a hotel, hospital rather, for criminals. And in this film, coming to theaters in July on the 20th, you're going to get to see Jodie Foster in an interesting role. Yeah, she looks like she's the head RN in charge of the hospital. Basically, what you're going to have is about 3 thieves coming for medical help after a heist gone bad, and apparently they took a portable vault that also didn't belong to them, and it's worth a lot of money. And there's a lot of interesting cast members in this film, and apparently Jeff Goldblum looks like he's playing a prominent role, possibly as a mob boss, and he doesn't look too happy that his stuff was stolen. And I think this cast is going to have a lot of vengeance just waiting to happen in this film.
Is that Batista in that photo?
Yeah, it is.
I'm excited for him. He's a good actor.
Yeah, he's fun. He's
you
a
say-
healthcare professional in this film.
Did you say portable vaults?
I did.
I feel like any vault is portable if you try hard enough. Just prayer and clean living.
You got a big enough wagon?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Prayer and clean living that you're stealing vaults.
Not in Fallout.
I didn't say stealing. Not necessarily.
So also in this film, I just want to say I really enjoy strong female leads in movies. I have for a long time, and between Jodie Foster and Sophia Boutella, who was Jayla in Star Trek Beyond.
Oh yeah.
She looks a lot different in this film, of course, but she's playing a badass in this movie, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And I really like the idea of Goldblum playing a mob boss, and also Zachary Quinto. So Boutella's going to reunite with Quinto from Star Trek Beyond in this film. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm interested in seeing this. And on a side note, I just want to say that having met Jeff Goldblum recently, he makes a lot of interesting, fun noises. And if you want to watch a 4-minute clip on YouTube of Jeff Goldblum just making noises from all his movies and not really speaking dialogue, that's something you should check out. And also, if you've ever wanted your own Jeff Goldblum
I was wondering about
cutout figure, to dress up or undress.
Who doesn't want that?
Right. I mean, you don't have to just undress him with your eyes anymore when you watch him on television. You can now actually undress him at home. There's a new product out by a company called Belly Kids. It is a dress-up magnet set, and I'm hoping that you're gonna get a kick out of this. Undressing Dr. Ian Malcolm, or maybe dressing the Grandmaster from Thor Ragnarok. But it's so it comes with 5 different heads. You got young Goldblum, middle-aged Goldblum, older Goldblum. I think it's going to be great. But the one problem I've got, if I can just nitpick.
Go for it.
Thank you. I'm not happy that there's no peeling Seth Brundle face, or you're going to have to supply your own dinosaurs. Just so you know.
Just set it on fire. You get
That is a
bubble face.
bummer.
Yeah. But it should be fun. So you basically get a shirtless Jeff Goldblum as a template. So then you can
Sploosh.
Why are we talking?
you can
Bryce.
he can lay on your couch or on your dashboard on the way to work.
I'm gonna be very disappointed if you don't get me one of these as a wedding gift.
It's bound to be popular.
Wait, how big is this thing?
I don't think it's life size to Cass.
Then
sorry.
what is the point?
Yeah, right.
I mean, until we have the Jeff Goldblum body pillow. What?
That exists actually.
Does
my
it
God.
really?
Does it?
That's
Yes.
amazing.
What's sad is not that it exists, but that you know that off the top of your head.
That you
I
know
have
that.
on Twitter. That's
And
it.
that I kind of want one. Like,
Moving
just so
on,
much.
Kat, what do you got going on
Yourself.
this time for the news?
So, I'm not trying to constantly do video game stories, but they keep finding me, and today I saw an article I have almost no commentary on. It's Fortnite promposals. So, Fortnite players have started building like elaborate structures within the game. I don't know if you know Fortnite, but basically it's a last man standing kind of battle royale game, and you can also do a lot of building structures within the game so that you can be more like stable and have a place to hang out and shoot people from. Anyway, so they've started building these really elaborate structures and sometimes blowing up part of them. So it says prom ? And it's just the newest like nerdy way to ask your girl or your guy or your whatever to the prom, and I think it's adorable.
Your
and I
body
love it.
pillow.
That is
No,
adorable.
your girl, guy, non-binary. If your body pillows are answering you, like you need serious help. But yeah, that was cute.
I don't know. James Franco seemed to have a meaningful relationship with his body pillow.
What is her name?
I don't remember. Kimiko?
Hold on,
Kamiko-san.
is
Kamiko-san.
Fortnite kind of like a advanced version of I just had it in my
If you
head.
say it, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
the brick building game.
No.
It's not. Okay.
No.
Minecraft.
Minecraft. That's the
No.
one. No. Okay.
It's a
so-
last man standing, like 100 people go in, or 25. It depends on the game
Depends on
style
the
you're
game, okay.
playing.
Y'all keep it up. I'm just start selling body pillows of you guys or something.
Okay.
No. Creepy.
Hey.
I refuse.
Creepy.
Hey, I gotta fund this thing somehow.
Our new Patreon.
Get your body pillows of the cast of
Several-
SCNS Live.
I mean, I have a price, but it's not body.
If necessary,
killer
I'll just start putting people's heads on other other pictures.
You want to start a Photoshop
Other-
battle?
I'll just-
I will win.
Really?
I'm not saying mine's gonna be good, but I'm saying mine's gonna happen.
I'm just saying, you could be in a lot more sexy bunny outfits.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway,
Cass, what do you got?
Who's got the next news story?
All right. So we're talking about Arrow. Arrow is a TV show that has been on for several seasons.
7 now?
5. For season 6, they are actually switching showrunners. Beth Schwartz, who has been a producer on the series for years and years, since the very beginning, I think, is now going to be the new showrunner. Mark Guggenheim is stepping down to a more consultant position. And Wendy Miracle is stepping down, period. She's not going to be in it anymore. And Legends of Tomorrow as well. Phil Klemmer is going to be showrunning that by himself. Mark Guggenheim, again, stepping down to more of a consulting gig, which I'm actually really excited about. Both of those shows kind of need a shakeup, especially Arrow. Arrow was an amazing show when it first started. It's kind of dwindled in the last couple of seasons due to...
Bad writing.
I was going to say it was something much more delicate. Losing cast members, some seriously mediocre writing overall, and just kind of a lack of direction. So I'm really excited about a new showrunner, what they could do with the story. I myself, I have to watch Legends of Tomorrow now anyways, because John Constantine is joining them in the 4th season. So, yeah. It's
Well,
just gonna
and
happen.
Guggenheim is just like over...
He's been doing
he's
so
over-
much.
Yeah, he has too much. He's been in charge of like all of the DC shows
for forever.
and show running them at once, and it's gotten to the point past continuity where
Yeah.
it's just been an issue.
I wonder how
Not
many
making
times
good decisions.
while everyone's like writing the stories and all this, like, we can do this story. Like, wait, nope. They did that in Batman back in the 90s. Oh, wait, no.
Did you see Stephen Amell get called Walmart Batman? He was writing something about, he said something about Beyonce that he thought was a compliment, some people thought was an insult, and they called him Walmart Batman, and he just embraced the title. And it's
Well, there
so
you go.
amazing.
One more Batman. I like it.
Yep.
So moving on with the news. Speaking of DC, Steven Spielberg is joining the DC Universe.
Say it isn't so.
So, yeah, Spielberg currently is tapped to direct Black Hawk. Black Hawk was the first introduced in 1941 by Quality Comics before the property was acquired by DC Comics in 1957. In the comics, Black Hawk was the leader of the Black Hawk Squadron, an elite group of pilots that fought in World War II. The prolific director, there we go, and his Ambit Entertainment are teaming with Warner Brothers to produce the action adventure with the intention of Spielberg directing. The screenplay for Black Hawk is being written by David Cope, I think is how you say his last name, who has collaborated with Spielberg as a screenwriter for the blockbusters Jurassic Park, Lost World, Jurassic Park, War of the Worlds, and Indiana Jones and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which actually this is the 10th year for that movie, the 10th anniversary. Spielberg will produce a film with Christy Makosko Krieger under the Amblin Entertainment banner, while Sue Kroll will executive produce under her Kroll & Co. Entertainment shingle. So we've got Spielberg joining DC Universe. Could he
That's crazy.
hopefully save it-ish, kind of?
Mm-hmm.
I
I
mean-
think Patty Jenkins is the only one that can do that now.
Patty did some saving, and then her efforts were dashed.
I mean, I don't
This is
think
mine.
any
This is part of
one
my story.
person.
That Ricardo totally passed me over for.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Jason.
you totally
I was
skipped
going to
Jason.
sing a song.
Do y'all want to see
No,
Jason sing
no,
a song?
No.
Jason, what is
Low-key,
I'm
your
yes.
story?
gonna make sure I'm out of frame.
Are you going to sing When I Think About You, I Touch Myself? Or what are you going to sing?
No, that's later.
Okay.
Mass crusaders working overtime, fighting crime, fighting crime. The best 80s theme song of all time, Mask. And Mask is now going to become a live action movie.
Oh, wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 80s cartoon is finally getting a live action adaptation. It's being directed by F. Gary Gray. So that's a good sign, actually. I did not expect that name to be attached to a series that was about transforming vehicles. Some not the best transforming vehicles, and some maybe not dynamic in aero or hydrodynamically possible. Like a car that the doors just open up and suddenly it can fly, which try that off of a cliff, or a helicopter that turns into a plane, that's actually kind of cool. That's legit. But it was one of my favorite cartoons as a kid. The toy line was great. The toys go still pretty expensive. So let me see. Like I said, best 80s theme song ever. If you have never heard the theme song of Mask, go listen to it. There's an extended version of it, which I never knew.
There you go.
They made not just a little 1 minute theme song for the show. They made a full 2.5 minute theme song. Thank you, Shuki Levy. So he's also being linked to the Men in Black spinoff, which he's actually holding off until he makes this movie. So I don't know. I have nothing. The theme song's great. We got no other news except F. Gary Gray is in charge of it, and that's a good sign for me. So look for this crazy cartoon about guys that wore masks. Actually, it was more like helmets that had superpowers and cars that transformed. It's crazy enough to work.
Cars that transform?
Cars and vehicles, like all kinds of vehicles. Like a Jeep will become a boat. Or a motorcycle will become a helicopter.
But it's not Transformers?
No, it's not Transformers.
Are you sure?
I'm quite positive.
Okay.
They don't have, like, sparks. I don't want to get into the
Obviously, they don't have sparks.
Moving on.
None of them caught on fire.
Boats. They don't even need sparks.
Okay.
He gets so mad so easy.
So bad.
So will it be better than Battleship, the Michael Bay movie? That's my question.
I don't know.
Shots fired.
What's next in the game?
Scrabble.
The Game of Life gets a freaking live action movie.
I mean,
Mousetrap
would be cool.
Mousetrap got one.
I want Hungry Hippos, the movie.
Yes, Hungry Hippos, yeah.
In a race to save the world, they have to build chutes
and ladders.
I
personally want
they should do Harry Potter Monopoly. Oh wait.
I personally want a Connect 4 movie.
Connect 4.
Give me Connect 4 movie.
Connect 4.
Yeah.
With a patient that can electrocute you.
Operation has a TV show and it's called Grey's Anatomy. Like, come on.
I thought it was called House. Anyway.
Let's also not forget
House is better.
Other fantastic board game. I don't want to be in camera.
Okay, good then.
I'm just a voice in the void.
Candyland?
Yeah, no.
Actually, there we go. Candyland.
Wreck-It Ralph.
No.
That's what? No.
It was
Pop-O-Matic Trouble.
I remember that.
Or
Or Sorry.
Every time the dice goes off, like people just like earthquakes happen or whatever. That's how they solve the puzzle.
Yes.
I like it.
Uno, the movie. Okay.
Oh God.
Bryce.
Cool. Bryce, what do you got?
We can do this all show.
80s theme song. Look at what's happened to me. I can't believe it myself.
Oh, that was the best.
Suddenly I'm up on top of the world. Should have been somebody else, like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator. And that's our next story we're going to focus on.
Nice segue.
No, don't give him credit for that.
Yeah, that's a good segue right there, folks.
No, sir.
Okay, so the untitled Terminator 6 project coming out in November of 2019. Production starts next month, buddy.
Yep.
Can't wait.
I can't wait either.
I can't wait either.
He's going to ignore everything except Terminator 2.
Right. No. Okay, I thought they were going to ignore Terminator. I thought they were going to ignore
Everything
Judgment Day as well.
T2.
Anything T2 and after T2, everything doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so they're
good.
gonna take into account T2 then.
Yeah.
Bleach it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what about Genesis?
Or Exodus
No.
or whatever it was.
No.
Genesis is my favorite one.
So
I'm kidding.
So the good news is Schwarzenegger's back. The Governator is back. Hopefully in his black leather jacket. We'll see. I don't know for sure what role he'll be playing. Will he be playing a human this time? Who knows? It may be sort of a reboot, right? Because they're ignoring all the other
for Schwarzenegger,
films.
human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Also Linda Hamilton's coming back, even though she died of leukemia in between Judgment Day and
We can forget about
Rise
that
of the
now.
Machines. Yeah, we can.
Yeah, that's all. It's all.
Right.
That's
Right.
Different timeline.
Right.
It's like X-Men. There's
Yeah,
like 5 timelines.
alternate timeline. So Skynet has chosen our next new cyborg assassin, and you will remember him from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that is Gabriel Luna,
Really?
your favorite G-Writer.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, right? So James Cameron is co-producing, and Tim Miller, the Deadpool director, he'll be in charge of the shoot, and should be a lot of fun with Blade Runner 2049's Mackenzie Davis also on board.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's rumored, from what I've read, it's rumored that she may become the face of the franchise from here on out, assuming we have a franchise.
Well, that's what they said about the last one.
Right.
And the girl, Daenerys, what's her
Emilia
name?
Clarke.
Emilia Clarke, yeah, that's what they said about her in the last movie, and look what happened. So.
Yeah, didn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so we're looking at, we don't know who the villain is yet, but Miller and Cameron were joking that what if our femme fatale, Linda Hamilton, was to go toe-to-toe with Liam Neeson as the villain, and Sarah Connor kicks Liam Neeson's ass. I don't know, we'll see. We don't know who the villain is. But we will have someone in leather. As you can see, Henry Winkler may or may not be in the new Terminator 6. This is Amigo. I don't know if you're familiar with this product, but it's one of the better products ever made.
Nobody is.
Made of plastic and fall leather.
That's the coolest action figure thing I've ever seen. I don't
Thank
know
you,
why
Kat.
we have all these
Definitely
other
the
toys
coolest
on
one
the
on the
desk.
table.
Thank you, Kat.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right, Kat.
you clearly have good toy judgment.
Yes. That's his cross-eyed stare just got to me. He's staring right at me with like dirt face. Like,
All right, Kat, what you got next?
okay, so I have on
Stop rattling things around on the table.
nice.
That looks way more sexual than you're thinking it does.
Oh god, that's gracious.
Is that supposed to be the Terminator, or does he look like the Fonz?
It's
No,
the
it's the
Fonz.
It's the Fonz.
Okay. I was
He couldn't
like-
find a Terminator.
The Fonz. Yeah, I don't have it. Yeah.
He was never that cross-eyed. Okay. So my other story. Dallas Fuel. Dallas Fuel on Monday night, I think. Monday night announced the release of their head coach Kai Kai and Rascal. They released their head coach, and then they went on to get stomped by San Francisco Shock last night.
So weird, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. When you said Dallas Fuel, I was thinking of Dallas City Fuel, like the tacos. I'm sorry.
We've been talking about Overwatch
Stop
for weeks. Have you not been
Thinking
watching
about
the show?
tacos.
I was
you
in
need
New
to
Orleans
eat
last
before
week.
you come here.
Tacos.
Just saying.
You're
No.
right, you're right.
So, this is the latest in a series of bad moves by Dallas Fuel, frankly. And I'm really, really mad about it. They announced that they want their players to run the team, basically. But they are looking for a new head coach. Who wants that job? The head coach job,
Oh, yeah.
after your last head coach got fired and you announced that your players are running the team.
I'll take that job.
You don't want it.
I'll whip them into shape.
Jason Wood.
I'll literally whip them into shape.
At this point, they need to be looking at head coaches from traditional sports, honestly, legitimately, because a head coach from sports, they don't need to know the strategies
Let's
and the
get
ins
Barry
and outs.
Switzer.
Let's go. I'd be perfect for this job.
No,
Anyone
I'll-
want Jason?
I'm a
I-
great
I vote
motivator.
Jason.
No,
This
I
would be
volunteer
fun.
for the job. I will sit in the back of the room, hang out with Mickey, and be fine.
You can be my assistant coach.
Mickey
As long as I
got
get to hang out with Mickey.
tilted recently. Anyway, this
Have you
is
ever even
just...
coached intramural softball?
I've coached a lot of things.
Have
Including
any
life.
of those teams ever won any of
Yes.
their games or matches?
Yes.
Even just one? An
Yes.
inning, maybe? Maybe a quarter? Did they win any of it?
I led fire teams in the Navy. I can do this.
You know, you're just saying that because you know we can't fact check you. So,
I can get. Yeah, you can.
no, this was really interesting. It's really big for Dallas, obviously, but also in the evolution of this being the most formalized version of esports as a league that we've seen. There's been so much drama, and it leads to just predictable results where teams don't perform very well without structure.
So basically, Dallas Fuel is just.
Dallas Fuel has underperformed since they came into the league. Like, this is the first season of the league. They were formerly Team Envious, and Envious was really, really good. And then they got to Dallas as Dallas Fuel, and all of a sudden the owner is doing his best Jerry Jones cosplay and firing head coaches and just being like, oh, this will be fine. You know, who needs it?
Yeah, well.
And we're losing.
Cowboys fans know that a little too well, so.
I keep
Yeah, that
saying
was
it's a true Dallas team,
Yep.
and that it gets to a decent position and then it chokes.
Well, and
Yep.
it has all this
Cowboys,
talent,
Mavericks,
and by
Stars.
all
This
numbers, it should
Especially
be
the Stars this
performing
season.
really well. But
And
thanks to
they
some
just
player drama and all this crap, they're losing.
I can do
Right.
this. I can do that job.
All right, Cass, what you
can
got?
do it better than the players could.
It's true. My second and last story is a short one. We got our first glimpse of Peggy Carter as Captain America. She looks amazing. She looks beautiful. I love her. That's
Is this
it.
legit?
This
picture?
legit. This legit. I'm so excited.
Oh, that's
super excited.
Blink. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Because two of them in the frame. Yeah.
Well, the character's Blink. They're going to do the time jumping thing, where Peggy Carter became.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I love the Exile stories. That Blink's the leader.
Why is she in the frame with Zarya?
That's
Nice.
why.
Peggy
I
Carter.
love
Peggy
misidentifying
Carter is
things.
wonderful. Jason, you have the next story.
I do, and
Uh-oh.
let me collect myself.
Oh.
I would like to say congratulations to DC Comics
Woo.
for being the first comic to get to 1,000 issues mainstream.
Action Comics.
Also, happy birthday, Superman!
Happy
80
birthday.
years. If you have not picked up your copy of Action Comics 1000, trust me, there are plenty to choose from, different covers, and the story is actually pretty good. But they choose. I'm no spoilers, but they throw another wrinkle in Superman's origin. So, if you want just a good standalone comic, just support this comic crossing this milestone of 1,000 issues. It is nothing to scoff at. Congratulations, DC Comics. I am a comic lover, and
Yeah.
I hope all my comics end up at 1,000 issues. So, congratulations, guys. 80 years is nothing to scoff at. All the respect out there for DC Comics.
Congratulations, Superman, for being around for 80 years.
And he's wearing
79 of those being Batman's bitch.
and he's wearing the red underwear again.
Good for him.
Little tiny little
As he
stuff.
should be.
If you're talking about
Overwear.
wrinkles in Superman's origin story, at this point it looks like Tommy Lee Jones' face. They have shown so many wrinkles in that origin story. I cannot deal with it
Get
anymore.
this lady some salt because she is throwing it around.
Thank you.
Anyway, so-
Awesome. Well, awesome, guys. That's all of our own little news stories, but now we've got to the big one. So, Fan Expo wants to run their shows the same weekend as Free Comic Book Day and Texas Frightmare Weekend. Thoughts?
It's the second time this has happened.
It is. The first time they tried to go against Akon a couple years ago.
Did not work out well for either one of them.
No, it did not. It split everyone in half.
Yeah. Which really is the thing, isn't it? That nobody wins in that
Yeah.
kind of situation. And that seems like that would be a bad idea because nobody wins. Because you both lose people going to your cons.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm confused about that.
Well, and resources, like, I mean, as a show, we go and we try and cover cons and events and stuff like that. Do you really want to split your media resources
Yeah.
to where they have to pick? Please don't really want to do that because I don't want to choose between those. I like the events. I like big events and smaller events, and we'd like to cover both whenever it's possible.
So they want to establish a monopoly, right, on the local industry.
It kinda
on the local
sounds
con
like-
industry. It's
That- yeah.
you're not making a lot of friends doing that. So it seems like you're making a lot of enemies.
Why is it that Texas has the shittiest cons right now? We had
Language, also rude.
Sorry.
Yeah, Cap over there.
Well,
He's not in a position to say language, but he is disappointed in you.
I mean, like, okay, like Free Comic Book Day. That's when like parents can take their kids and say, "Look, here's what I did when I was growing up." They get a few comics. They get into the comics, and then they want to learn more about it. Cool. I personally wouldn't want to take a small child to like Fan Expo because of how crowded it gets. I wasn't there this weekend. You guys were. How crowded was it? Was it pretty?
Not nearly as crowded as it was last year.
Jason had his small child there, and it was fine.
It was
It was
great.
fine. Okay.
Are you calling him out? Go
What?
ahead.
Yes, I magically moved. I actually call out Fan Expo. They actually did a good thing. Had an area for the kids you could take them to. They can do arts and crafts, watch Disney movies. That was great. This whole thing is another thing altogether, and that's all the props I'm giving for now.
And that's really the thing about it that I guess does make a little bit more sense to me is that Free Comic Book Day is very community focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fan Expo seems to be moving away from that in a lot of ways. The local cosplayers, they have chosen the most popular ones, which of course they're going to, but they don't seem to be very community focused. And Free Comic Book Day is all about the community.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know personally what they're trying to do with that, but it seems like they're very, very corporation based.
Yeah.
Corporation focused.
We had that experience at the costume contest.
Yeah.
Like, we went to the costume contest, and traditionally the corporate side has kind of stayed out of the costume contest. It's been very local, so it's been really popular to go to the costume contest and kind of hang
See
out
your
with all your
friends.
friends that you haven't seen the rest of the weekend and goof off and whatever. And this one was a little bit different. It was still very well emceed, but it was definitely had more of a corporate overtone to it and less of a just rowdy like group of people who love to
I can just
cosplay.
imagine out here in a few years, like, welcome to the Doritos Fan Expo in Dallas. The Cosplay Contest is sponsored by Snickers. Like,
Now-
it's gonna be little things like that. But
I want to say that like a lot of things that Fan Expo has done are good. A lot of them are good. They're bringing recognition, they bring more press, and because they're a more corporate con, they can afford to give media some passes into it, which promotes our local nerd culture. And I really, really do appreciate that. And I don't think they're trying to establish a monopoly necessarily. I think what they might be doing is trying to establish that they're the number one.
Yeah.
And people have to line up behind them, and they can schedule their events whenever they want. I don't know if that's true. This is all totally speculation, but
It's speculation, but it has a lot of grounding in kind of a reality. Hi, I'm Jason now. How y'all doing?
Jason, you look hotter.
Hey.
I like your glasses, Jason.
Anyway.
I like your glitter.
You can't even see it on camera.
Oh,
I'm very
I
sorry.
can see it from here. Anyways, go ahead.
But, like, for example, Free Comic Book Day is pretty much the same day every year. It's not like it's announced a month beforehand. It's announced pretty early. And then same with Texas Frightmare Weekend. Their dates are usually pretty public. Like, we've had the dates for Frightmare Weekend for like 2 or 3 months now. Fan Expo just now is announcing their dates, and it just happens to fall on these days. The fact that it's happened before, like Ricardo said, with A-Kon last year, leaves a bitter taste because you are trying to get the other people's attendance as well. Like with A-Kon, since they were no, it wasn't last year's A-Kon, it was the year before because it was the last year that they were in Dallas.
That's right. Before they went 2 years ago. Then
Yeah,
It was
2 years ago. I remember that.
And what happened was more people paid for the ticket to go to A-Kon because it was cheaper and ghosted Fan Expo. Or they had one friend bought for Fan Expo, one person bought for A-Kon, and they would switch badges back and forth.
Genius.
So
For real.
both cons ended up losing money, but I still think A-Kon came out a little better on that because a lot of the things that people were wanting from Fan Expo were autographs, and they were basically going, hey, you're going there anyway, get this autograph, and then they went to A-Kon instead.
Yeah.
Because as much crap as I give A-Kon is more fun. And
It is a party con.
It's more of a party con, and they actually have a variety of dealers in the dealer hall.
And it's more niche interests. So the more like niche your interests get, the more comfortable you are doing way out there cosplays or whatever, the more it's
true.
just, it seems like a very localized fan base. So you feel like you found friends a little easier in some ways.
No,
And sorry, go ahead.
what's that? And I don't know why they want to go against Frightmare because that's not really something. Because again, Frightmare is a very niche crowd because it's a horror con. It's not, like with Fan Expo, it's gonna be a little bit of everything because you have, like we have the voices from like Batman coming in. We have like Jeff Goldblum this year, Ben Affleck, Jason Momoa. Who else do we have this year? I don't even remember anymore.
Charlie Cox.
Like we have all these like very different people than the ones from like Frightmare, because this year Frightmare has almost the entire cast of It.
Yeah.
And they have the cast of Hellraiser coming in, and
the cast of Chucky.
And the cast of Chucky. That's something I think the Fan Expo would want to bring to their audience. At least I don't think so.
Not the entire cast, probably.
Probably not. Just maybe like one or two.
Well, we know they don't want the entire cast of stuff.
I mean, they tried one year with Serenity, and they tried this year with the Back to the Future. But besides the point, I mean, you're not. I don't know what you're doing trying to take on Frightmare, because you're not gonna really take anyone away from that just because it's like, oh, you know, cool, yeah, it's Jeff Goldblum, but you know what? It's the cast of Hellraiser. I really go see them because that's what I grew up with. Yeah, Jeff Goldblum's cool, but I wanna go meet them. And honestly, you could probably get the entire cast at Frightmare probably for the same price that you get for one person at Fan Expo.
Yeah.
Well, also with the prices, it does depend on the it depends on the actors themselves. Like, I worked Texas Frightmare last year in the autographs area, and I never got to see anyone but the person the two people I was sitting between, because there were so many people there, which is a good thing. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. It was just one I was like, well, apparently the guy from A Clockwork Orange is over there, but I can't see him.
Oh, Michael McDowell, yeah.
Yeah, he was there, and he was pretty cool, apparently. I don't know. I was sat between Italian people.
Do you know who they were? Do you remember?
I don't remember their names. It was they were there for Suspiria and for House of the Dead, I believe.
Oh, cool.
Or no, Night of the Living Dead. They had the original score writer and director.
Oh, cool.
Because he was also the director for Suspiria. They were there for this big thing, and I've never seen people nerd out like that. And that is a good thing. Like, it was very humble. They had movie posters from like the original showing in Italy. They're just like, please sign this, which is a level I don't normally see at Fan Expo.
That's one of the things that's
like,
really interesting to me, is that like Fan Expo is kind of a catch-all of a lot of different interests, which in some ways works really well. We got to meet the Lucio, Junkrat, and Roadhog voice actors at con.
That was really cool. Those videos y'all posted were really awesome.
It was so fun.
Yeah, it was.
Not everybody would be interested in that, and so that's cool, but like in between that and like Frightmare, there's some really specific, really exciting, really niche fans there. And I gotta tell you, as a photographer and someone who likes to make videos, I'm more interested in the horror scene than in a catch-all. You could possibly see more people from a wider fan base.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, do they position the cons in April and October for Fan Expo as of right now? Are they doing that because they know the actors generally don't work much in that time of the year?
Part of it.
Because I was wondering about the scheduling, because I thought they used to do it in February or May.
They used to do
Fan Expo?
They used to do well.
They used to do 3 cons.
They used to do 3.
cons,
Yeah.
yes.
There'd be one in the winter, one in the spring, one in the fall.
One in the winter, one in
Summer, spring.
early summer, usually late May, early
So
June.
why did they go from 3 to 2?
Because they didn't want to do 3 anymore. Not a lot of people were coming to February. Basically, the pull for February was the entire cast of the CW, and that was it. And so not a lot of people came to February, and so they decided to combine those cons, and that's also when they started going to Dallas instead.
Yeah.
Instead
If I'm
of
not
Irving.
mistaken, they had higher cancellation rates
Yeah.
too for like for February. It was just one of those things where a lot of actors had a brief break and could possibly get there, but it didn't
reshoots.
come through for reshoots or fill-ins or just being behind schedule.
And also
Or lovemaking in February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also they would raise the prices.
Sure.
Like they started raising the prices of like appearance fees and all that, and not appearance fees, but like autograph fees and all that. And they were raising the price of the tickets. And you know, when it's literally like a month and a half right after Christmas, like people are still recovering from all those prices and all that. So it's like and it's Valentine's.
That kind of gets to my point of why I don't like. And look, I fixed the camera. Look, I'm hot. There we go.
I'm hidden.
Whatever.
Aw.
Anyway, the main reason I don't want Free Comic Book Day intersecting with Fan Expo is because Free Comic Book Day is the day that most of our local comic shops make a lot of money.
Yes.
And people spend a lot of money to go to Fan Expo Dallas.
Yeah.
And they're going to have some choices. I'm going to say, for me, I'm not going to choose Fan Expo. I'm going to choose Free Comic Book Day because I don't just go out and hit all the stores and get all the free comics. Usually the stores are having sales on figures and statues and back issue comics and everything. I save up for Free Comic Book Day because I do want to. I mean, and yeah, it's me wanting a deal, but I'm still giving my business to these local shops. And I don't just go to one. I mean, we've hit Free Comic Book Day together.
Yeah, we usually hit about 5 or 6 of the local
Yeah,
shops.
we hit a lot of shops.
And actually, some of the bigger shops like Zeus Comics will have like artists and writers in the industry there signing books that they have for a lot cheaper than Fan Expo. Like, you can buy the book and get their autograph for like $25, and it's usually like the actual thick like collector book.
And it's a lot of usually local comic creators, but even like Madness Comics, they had the Power Rangers in there. Last year, I got you David Yoss's autograph. They're going to have Aisha this year. Too.
Oh, cool.
Yes. It is very, like you were saying earlier, it's a community thing. It's like you're messaging me, hey guys, what shops are you hitting today? Oh, what time are you going to be over here? It's fun.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, I get deals on toys. So that might sound greedy, but don't get me wrong, I am supporting my local comic shop. If there was something there that I maybe saw and said, maybe not for that price, but, you know, hey, we're having a 20% off sale today, then it's the perfect price.
I mean, it's
Sold.
not greedy. That's what they're doing. They're doing business. They're making deals to bring in more people, to bring in more of the community. Like, that's what they want, you know? And if a deal is the way to get there and promote their comic book shop, then it just grows their audience. Like,
it also, it's a day that, it's going to be kind of weird for me to talk about. I don't go into comic book shops by myself ever. I go usually with a male because otherwise I tend to get harassed. And Free Comic Book Day is a day that I go into comic book shops by myself. Last year it did not work out for me because that's the day that I got sniffed by that guy. But that's
That is a story for not on the air.
that is a story. No, it wasn't.
Was this a
wasn't
Madness?
a big deal. It wasn't Madness.
Of course, it wasn't Madness.
I was looking at dice because I needed my own, and I was feeling.
Dicey?
Feeling out which.
Oh,
Feeling which
you're
one I
off the show.
wanted. And a guy sniffed me and said, "Perfume, it smells good." So that didn't work out for me. But that's the kind of things
That's
that
not creepy.
happen.
Okay, yeah, just...
That can happen. And Free Comic Book Day is a day where there's a lot of people. It makes me more comfortable to go into comic book shops. And that is one of the pulls for me about Free Comic Book Day. And so it makes me have a certain, I don't know, I want to support it because I want to support people going to comic book shops who wouldn't normally do it. And that's, I don't know. So do you think Fan Expo is going to have a significant downturn because of this?
The thing that I think is actually going to end up happening, unfortunately, is people are still going to enjoy Free Comic Book Day and they're still going to go into the comic shops, but they're only going to grab the free comics and then they may go to Fan
And then you think
Expo.
they'll have
That's the thing, though. Fan Expo, other than Duncanville Bookstore, doesn't really sell comics.
You know, you're right.
Other than because the
that.
Duncanville Bookstore is always the one that I always see, and they usually have pretty good deals on stuff. There's like a few others, like little ones, but that's really the only one that sells comic books. And Half-Price Books is there as well, but they sell a little bit of everything.
The Galaxy called Dallas.
Galaxy Called Dallas is usually there. Are they?
I'm sorry.
Are they at
Yes,
Fan
they are
Expo?
usually, yes.
Okay, cool. So, but now it's like, cool. Do I stay at the shop or do I go and buy a table and hopefully make money at Fan Expo? So, but no, you know, I don't like this. Because like last year's when I started getting Chelsea into comic books again, and we hit up Free Comic Book Day, and we hit up Valhalla Comics when they were still around. We hit up Madness. We hit up Keith's Comics as well, and you know, we got a little bit here and there, and we got to meet the voices of Majin Buu and Hercules from Dragon Ball Z at Valhalla. That was pretty cool. That's the little things, and we saw a couple of local artists that we were looking forward to their comics whenever they came out. So I don't I don't like this. I think Fan Expo is doing a disservice to the community here.
I am going to play devil's advocate on this, just
Okay.
a bit. Now, Fan Expo has kind of responded to this and said that basically, it's the K. Bailey Hutchinson Center.
Yeah.
These are the dates they were offered. I don't know how much truth there is to that, because I figure Fan Expo is a big draw as far as like the space they need and the price that they're going to pay for that. So and this is going to sound really jaded. I honestly think they don't care that that's the day that Free Comic Book Day falls on. I think they went in just like, hey, we're a con. They're going to come and see us. I refuse to believe that they were blissfully unaware that Free Comic Book Day, which happens in May 5th all the time, that
First weekend in May,
is that
yeah.
the day of Free Comic? I refuse to believe that. I'm sorry. You're here 3 days out of the year. These other guys are here all the rest of the time, except the Sundays and Mondays that they close, supporting the fandom. Y'all are for the fans, but they're here selling us comics and toys and everything. And quite frankly, and this was mainly lit off by my friend Richard over at Zeus Comics. He was the one that first started kind of ringing the bell like, hey, this is not right. And Richard is a good friend of mine. I love Zeus Comics. And this will hurt them. We can't afford to lose comic shops, okay? I am not going to be going to one comic shop and then there's a monopoly. I like going around. That's my day to go everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and support everybody. Because I can't support everybody every day of the year.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it may
Fan
be...
Expo has to back off on this.
It may be that it wasn't explained to them very well, because if you hear like, oh, they go in and pick up a comic and look around, Fan Expo could very reasonably be like, well, it's like an all-day happening. They can pick up their comic book and whatever, and they don't understand the duration of the going and hanging out, meeting people, going to a different one, hanging out, picking up comics there, whatever. I would love to see, first of all, I would love to see arbitration come in and like settle these date things, like the Akon thing and the...
It's a no-win
Nobody's
situation.
winning.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
wins.
I would
That's my
love to
thing.
see an arbitrator come in and be like, okay, let's talk about dates and let's talk about how you do this. And if that doesn't happen, then I would love Fan Expo to put out a giant olive branch of some sort. Like you guys can have free space in the
Yeah.
dealer's room. You guys we'll send them to you. You can have a whole thing. We'll do, I don't know, we'll shuttle people back and forth to the comic stores to hang out, something. And none of those are stellar ideas, but something like that to be like, we want to partner with you unless they can change the dates.
All right,
If they
so-
can't change the dates,
And
then
I would
it's
assume-
a partnership.
I would assume at this point that they can't.
So
Because I know
They've got a full
convention centers-
365 days, and
But they lock in those dates super early. Most convention centers do.
I mean,
Which
So,
is
to-
why
So two things. I mean, Fan Expo this year was super early. Last couple years has been like middle of May till June. This was like mid-March. I can't remember the last time Fan Expo did something in March. Like this was way early, so they can go as late as June. Go to June. Like leave the beginning of May alone. Like the second thing is though, Fan Expo is owned. I don't know if they have Free Comic Book Day up in Canada because Fan Expo is a Canadian company. Maybe they don't have it up there. Maybe they don't care. I mean, maybe they're not aware. But I don't like it. But okay, real quick. So Free Comic Book Day is in 2 weeks. Do you have any free the free comic
16
stores?
days, count them down.
16 days.
I just want to add something.
Go for it.
To the conversation about if you want to continue to bring new and younger fans, future generations into Fan Expo conventions in Texas or any other state you choose to run your con, it doesn't make sense to cut off and interfere with your local comic shops, because those are your future consumers of your product.
Yep.
So they should be checking into the conflicting dates. They should try and figure that out.
Definitely.
So that part of the business doesn't make sense unless it's a get quick rich scheme where they change ownership all the time and they don't care. But I don't think that's necessarily the
Fan
case.
Expo, they're not.
Yeah,
Like,
so they should know better. And those comic book shops are the blood and everything that, I know I was a kid, growing up, going to my comic book shop every other week, if not more, with my parents, and I loved picking up my comics.
Yeah.
And I didn't have free comic book day when I was a little kid, but don't you think I would have loved it?
Oh, yeah.
I would have loved it,
They
when I was a
cost
little
him
boy.
a nickel back then. He had to pay all 5 cents.
Let me tell you something. Taking out the trash and earning my
5 cents?
my allowance,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that took me away from comic book reading and future cosplaying or current cosplaying is when I was a kid. I couldn't wear my costume, all the time.
Especially not while taking out the trash.
When I was
Get
busy
dirty.
unloading the dishwasher, I didn't want or loading the dishwasher. I couldn't do
You
that.
could have this like Batman, but like gloves, like up to
Rubber
here,
Batman gloves.
Right.
while you're doing the dishes.
Right.
The bat
Those
dishes.
latex bat dish gloves.
Right. Or my all latex costume.
Gross.
Right.
Ew.
Okay, so
And
we're
I just want to say one other thing, Cash. You need some nerd-busting Iron Man armor when you go to the comic store.
Maybe I should do that.
you should come with me in Chelsea. We're gonna hit up a couple shops.
That's usually what I do.
Yeah.
You should actually
Have you
tune in to us
noticed?
the week before. We're going to cover what comics you can get on Free Comic Book Day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And some of our local
okay.
deals in Dallas is going to be awesome.
Just quick PSA: Don't be creepy to girls in
Don't
comic
be
books.
creepy.
And don't sniff people.
Creepy. Don't sniff
Sniff
people.
people.
Don't sniff people. Don't touch people. Don't just leave people alone. Just
If we catch you being creepy, we're gonna have to,
we're gonna kick in the nards.
And the next time somebody says, "Are you lost?" when I'm in a comic book store, I'm going to punch them in the face.
Oh, please do.
Every time.
Okay, so real quick. All right.
we don't
What are
have
some of
to
your
talk
favorite
about those.
local comic shops? For me, now that I live over there by Fargo Garland, for me, it's Keith's Comics. What are some of your other favorite shops around
I
town?
forget the names of shops.
A galaxy
Really
called
bad.
Dallas.
Galaxy College just
Yeah,
up the
I
road.
see.
Yep.
Right here in Garland. It's not far from
the one
wherever
in
you
Denton?
are. Here
Yeah.
in Garland and Richardson.
That's true. It's
What's
not too
the
far
one
from
in
that.
Denton Square?
Ooh, I
Right
know.
outside of
never
Denton
been to
Square.
I know what you're talking about. That is a good little
It's-
store.
One of my favorites.
one
They
of-
have all these collectibles.
Yeah.
It's one of the like 3 that I'll go into now.
Yeah.
What's another one of y'all's favorites? Jason?
My personal favorite is Zeus Comics. Richard Neal owns the shop. And yes, I'm a bit biased because he is a friend of mine, a very talented individual. It just runs a good shop. It's laid out very well. There's always good deals on stuff. That and if I like a smaller shop, I like Red Pegasus Comics.
Oh, that is a good little shop. Didn't they just move?
Yes, they did move. It's really cool. They got like the big window front and everything. It's a
Good for
really
them.
good
That was a
shop.
little hard to get to before.
It's right in the Bishop Arts District. Great store.
Perfect.
But yeah, definitely Red Pegasus and Zeus Comics are some of my favorites.
Oh, Boomerang Comics in Louisville too. They've been out
Boomerangs,
there.
yes, they're great too.
Yeah, that used to be my comic book shop when I used to live in the colony. I used to go all the way out there all the time because Neil, he still runs the store. He was a good friend of mine. I miss going to that shop. That was fun. I helped them move shops when they were in this little tiny store and they moved to a bigger store, and I helped them move because that was my shop. So, but yeah.
There's one in the colony.
There's one in the
that's
colony
just,
now. It
yeah,
just says
it's
comics.
It's just comic.
That's
Hey,
all you
Colony
need.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
And that's what we had back in the day, and we liked it.
No, it's really chill. I wish their sign wasn't written in Comic Sans MS, but that's just
That's
me.
true.
They do
Being a
have.
snob.
I went in there one time. They had Sharp S Smart like bowlers from Army of Darkness.
Wow.
So,
They run some really
Yeah.
cool like events and stuff. I want to say one last thing on the whole thing is that Fan Expo. We like Fan Expo. We appreciate them in a lot of ways, and they've hooked us up in the past to be press at their events. We really appreciate that. We don't want to turn this into a fight. We're just using our limited platform to say, please, please, please respect Free Comic Book Day and Frightmare and adjust your dates accordingly.
We don't want anybody and I saw some comments in the chat. We don't want any boycotts of anything.
No.
We want to exist together.
Yeah.
This is a community. We want to attend both events.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
make us decide because, as Kat said, there's not a winner in this.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to. Well, I can only go to one, so don't make us do this.
Please.
I want to
And
add
they
something
do.
to that as well, on a positive note. I have enjoyed Fan Expo for several years, and this year I was pleasantly surprised that they brought in Ben Affleck after they couldn't get Michael J. Fox, which was fun. But but aside from the celebrities, I'm just talking about.
And he was smiling on your picture too.
He
Somehow,
edited it.
miraculously.
Did you Photoshop
You
that?
photoshopped
I did.
it, didn't you? Yeah.
If you look back at it, though, I also photoshopped me to look 20 years older in one of the pictures
yeah.
and 20 years younger.
Yeah.
I didn't
Wow.
notice. Is that bad?
Is what bad?
You look the
Be more
same
specific.
age to me. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
No, I
don't
did
know if
notice.
that's
It was
good or
funny.
bad. I can't. Anyway,
That's
so I
squarely
just,
in the middle.
right. But I did want to say one other thing about you brought up the costume contest earlier.
Yeah.
Sponsored by stickers.
The right, but you know what they did? They are sending the first place winner of that to Canada for a huge competition.
Oh,
so,
cool.
You know, that is a great opportunity for a aspiring cosplayer who wants to, you know, I don't know, go international or, you know, just have fun with that.
I mean, you
So-
can be a pro, like
Right.
pro cosplayers, and
Right.
that's a great opportunity
Yeah.
to go
That's pretty
towards
cool. Who won
becoming
this year? Do
professional.
y'all remember who?
Some short little
Something with a
something
skull.
with a really impressive costume. I don't know what her
I was
name
actually a good friend of mine. She won. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Was it?
that was my friend Jessie. Yeah.
good job, Jesse.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Have
Jessie
fun in
Collins,
Canada.
you should definitely go check out her cosplay page.
It was a really good
beautiful.
cosplay.
Oh,
I was just
so
I
beautiful.
didn't remember the name.
All right, so we're running out of time. So real quick, we got Infinity War in less than a week.
Yep.
Quick Deadpool. Who makes it out of this one? Who does not make it out of this
Out of
one?
which one? Deadpool
Oh.
or Infinity War?
No,
Infinity War.
Deadpool.
Who does not
Deadpool
survive?
for Infinity
Who does
War.
not survive
I think that
Infinity
other
War?
subject we were going to touch on, we can just get that on the next show. I think we had some good discussion on Free Comic Book Day and Fan Expo.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have summer blockbusters all summer, so there's plenty of time to get to that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
But also
Cat
on Free
doesn't
Comic
make
Book
it
Day,
up.
like I said, make sure you're following us on the Facebook page because we're going to be going around. We'll be doing like live video while we're at the comic book shops and posting that and showing you our travels. It's trust me, we have
Pulling
fun with
goofy
it,
Yes, we do.
stunts.
and we hope to see you guys out there. So.
Cool. Well, guys, good show today, and as always, keep on.
Hey, hey,
Oh,
hey,
wait,
hey, hey,
no. It's been a
He's
hot
out of
minute.
practice.
It's been a hot minute since I've been on the show. I am so sorry.
Ricardo, back to intern.
You can find me on Instagram on Alamo Nerd 89.
It's at the bottom of the screen.
Yep, bottom of the screen. Bryce, where can they find you?
To your left. Also, you can find me at Bryce Culver on whatever.
Well
you
done,
choose to
sir.
Look me up.
Nice.
MySpace or
beautiful.
Facebook.
Oh god.
MySpace.
Zanga.
Yeah.
Oh god, Senga.
Friendster.
Friendster.
Yeah.
Catch me on ICQ.
Yeah.
Are you one of the
Whoa.
4 people that's on
Check it back
LinkedIn?
on you.
You can find me on LiveJournal.
Kat, where can they find you? And do not say to my left.
You can find. I would never copy someone else's joke. Thank you. At Better Cat Comics, plural, with an S at the end, not like the tag at the bottom of the screen. And also on Instagram is at Better Cat.
Me?
Yes,
Phoenix?
go
Thank you.
Cass.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter both at Cass_Bradley. That's KAS_Bradley, singular, no S.
With an underscore.
With an underscore.
Jason?
I feel quite embarrassed on that now. Thank you, everyone, for pointing out my spelling errors.
Did I get yours spelled right? Did I spell yours right?
Yeah, mine's like the same. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at JasonTheX. Instagram for toy pictures, Twitter for me pretty much cursing out random senators and House members on my.
Oh, I
It gets very. Thank you for finally following me. I appreciate that. Jackie.
You know what? I don't think I'm following you.
And at Corodono.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Corodono, KORODONO, where
I don't
I
have yours up.
post art and selfies, or you can find me on Twitter at Hawks Perch, one word, where I scream about Suikoden into the void until one of y'all answers me
Oh.
eventually.
Okay.
And of course, you can follow the show at SCNS Live on Twitter, at SCNS on Instagram, and like us.
And
Like this video.
Like the video. Like us.
Subscribe.
Like us on everything.
And
Make
push
sure.
that little bell.
He's got that weird intense eyes thing. Like us.
Notifications.
Like us and subscribe.
Like us. So awesome, guys! Great show today. You might not see me again throughout the summer. We're gonna be very, very busy. So if you see me, it'll be very rare. Other than that,
Yay.
guys, as always, I enjoy doing the show with you guys.
Yeah, good
And
times.
As always, keep on nerding.
Nerding.
Buy me a Whopper. Get me to the chopper.